Space, a final frontier.
Hello there, Trekkie Dave. This is episode 32. I haven't done one of these in a long time, and I thought it would be kind of fun. So I'm going to do a show and tell. Trekkie Dave's Star Trek comic collection. So I've collected comics my entire life. Mostly Batman comics. Probably 70% of my comics are Batman comics. But I've also collected a lot of Star Wars and Star Trek comics through the years. So today I'm wanting to show you my Star Trek comics. As those actually, even though I know the Batman comics are more valuable and more popular and so forth, but my Star Trek comics are actually my favorite. And I love where Star Trek went with comics because it was very kind of eclectic, sort of, where there was a lot of variety with Star Trek comics, which I always appreciated and thought was kind of unique that way. Like, Star Trek was never really a comic-based property, but they went to some interesting places, and some of my favorite Star Trek comics are off the beaten path. Like, it's not typical Star Trek, which is kind of cool. Like an example of that, a couple of years ago, they released a comic for City on the Edge of Forever, which was the actual original Harlan Ellison script. So it visually showed what the episode would have looked like if they had gone with Harlison's script. So I'll show you that. So what we do here is I'll just briefly talk about this, and then I'll go down and show you the comic collection and show you that comic, okay? When we moved here 5 years ago, I downsized many of my comics collection for the move. So anyways, I think I can show you the comic collection downstairs to my basement comic room, and we'll take a look at my Star Trek collection. Okay. So Trekkie Dave here. So here is my Star Trek comic collection right here. And I'll just quickly do a show and tell and show you guys. So beginning right here, these are my oldest ones. Okay, so these go back to the 1990s and the 1980s, and they're all original series ones. And then right here is the adaptions of all the movies. And this one here is actually my favorite of all the comics. It was a series called Infestation. And there's a Star Trek the Motion Picture one in Infestation, which is my favorite comic. These ones here, okay, so starting with Starfleet Academy. These ones here are the J.J. Abrams comics. And I have most of those. They came in big comic series. So right here are these. And then at the back of that was like the countdown to, sorry if you can't entirely see it there, but the countdown to the movies, Into Darkness and so forth. So right here was a series called Boldly Go, which I really liked. I thought it was style-wise, like when you look at the cover, it's pretty cool how they did it. Like the art style is really neat. And then right here, right now, a very popular comic is called Year 5. There's actually a Year 4 as well. So I collected those as well. So right here are Year 4. And then I've got all of the Year 5 ones up to date. So anyways, those are those. These comics here were called New Visions. And I really enjoyed New Visions because it was basically like the photo novels of the 1970s that I have all of those photo novels, but they were a modern version of them. So they're really cool. And this I want to show you guys because these are some of my favorite comics. So right here, these two giant box sets here are Captain Pike's early adventures. And these were collected in these big books. And it's kind of neat with Strange New Worlds coming out. because I don't know if any of those stories are going to be repeated on Strange New Worlds. I doubt it, but it's a really fun and dense comic collection. Okay, so here I've got Waypoint, and then there were individual Captain Log ones, like for Pike and for Sulu and so forth. And then there was a Spock series that I collected right there. And then Alien Spotlights, I've got both volume 1 and 2. Those are really cool. And then this one is really neat. This is The City on the Edge of Forever, and it's Harlan. Okay, so right here is my Generations collection, which is some of my favorite comics. But my favorite comics of all time is this one, Intelligence Gathering. I just love this comic. But the one that I really love, this comic, I think it's probably my favorite comic, but it's called the Gorn Crisis, and it's a Next Generation comic. Okay, so right here are comics like by John Byrne, who is a really huge Star Trek fan, and his comics are just amazing. So like this one is Leonard McCoy, Frontier Doctor. It's a really great comic. And then I've got The Trial of James T. Kirk, all of those. And then I've got a bunch of series. Burden of Knowledge, really good series. Okay, so those are TOS comics, the original series comics. And then just to end this off here, I've got only one Discovery comic. Discovery hasn't really gone into comics, or New Trek hasn't really gone in to comics in a big way. At least not yet. Okay, so that is my Star Trek comic collection. Trekkie Dave Star Trek comic collection. Show and tell for today. Okay, Ethan, can you take this? Yeah. Okay, so just point it at me, Ed. So that's it for this episode. So this is episode 32. Trekkie Dave's Star Trek comic collection. That's it. So hope you're all doing well. God bless you. Take care. And I'll be out with episode 33 as soon as possible.